What's up guys, and welcome back. My name is John. I used to be an account manager, and in this video we're going to talk about the traits of indispensable great account managers. So the first quality of an indispensable account manager is they build strong relationships. Relationships are much stronger than profits. I'd go into some meetings and I knew that we had amazing ROI. And I was so confident that the clients were not only going to stay with us, they were going to buy more stuff. I was totally wrong. I was totally wrong. The clients left, and in the end, we wrote down the reason for them churning is no relationship. But on the other hand, when we had some clients as well that weren't doing very well, so the profits really weren't there, but my boss had a very strong relationship with their boss. So they'd be chit-chatting the whole meeting. They'd be like, having a real good time, talking about all their stuff. Right, and I'd be like in the meeting like, okay, so when are we gonna talk about the work? And that's a very strong client. That client stayed with us forever. So really, relationships are much stronger than profits. And you always wanna be building strong relationships. So they did this, by showing goodwill, inviting them to coffee meetings, days out, promoting their work in front of other peers, all this kind of stuff. So they built strong relationships. Next thing, great account managers have great emotional intelligence. As an account manager, you have to be able to retain clients and sell to clients. So you really need to understand what people want. What do they fear? What are their desires? Like, what are they trying to get, right, with your service? Next thing that I saw that great account managers could do was they manage expectations very well. So they didn't overpromise anything. And this is very hard, especially for me when I was new to the job, is that I'd oversell ideas, I'd oversell campaigns. If I had like this AI product, man, I'd talk to them about the joys of AI, life-changing, huge thing for your business. It's gonna totally change the game, right? But I'm just overselling it, right? But a great account manager exerts caution, right? So I noticed that some of them would include slides, right? Saying that don't expect high ROIs on month one, right? Instead, it's more like a step by step kind of thing. Like a forecast is like this, right? They'd be very careful to say that, and then they'd say, "Do you understand about this? Do you agree with the ROI?" So they'd make sure that they align with the partner straight away on day one before they even started working with them, to not expect crazy returns on investment straight away. And the same goes for actual work delivered as well. So they'd have slides in their presentations on how much working hours the client could expect. So they'd explicitly say, I can accept 2 hours of phone calls per month, or it's going to take me a 7-day lead time to get you, new campaigns launched. And we can't launch last-minute campaigns. So that's also something very hard for new account managers to do, is to kind of say, we need that lead time, or say, no, I can't give you this campaign at the last minute, right? So manage expectations, control the client, keep them at a reasonable distance, and don't oversell. Next thing that great account managers do is they get value recognition. There's a difference between getting your client great value and actually showing them that you've given them the great value. So there were some cases where I was running advertising campaigns that made a huge profit, right? And I knew it was making a huge profit, but the client didn't believe me. Right? So that's hard, right? That's very hard. And they're two entirely separate things. So really that then gets to the point that you have to get the value recognition. You have to be able to prove that it's accurate, to prove that they're getting the great value, to show them in meetings and give them these presentations that, gets them to say, yes, John, I believe it. I believe you're getting us great value. I like the product. I see the value. I recognize the value. So getting the value recognition. And one critical error that can happen here is to not get the value recognition from the client, especially if they're like a director or something. You need them to say either yes or no that they see the value. And if you don't ask them this, there's a chance that they don't see the value. And if they don't see the value, they're going to walk away at some point. And this happened to us a few times as well. So we'd write down on the, why did they churn? No value recognition. And what would have helped is if I had ask them in each meeting, do you see the value in this? Do you believe the ROI? These kinds of things. And the final thing that great account managers do is they find growth opportunities. So really the account manager has two jobs. The first job is to retain the client for as long as possible, get them to stay with you. But on the other hand, they also want to grow the client account. And they do this through upsells, right? So really the account manager is a kind of part salesperson. The way that they do this is by asking the right questions, right? So as an account manager, you're going to be working with your sales team and they're going to want to know, well, what kind of opportunities, what does the client actually want, right? So what do they need? And this goes back to, having great emotional intelligence. You want to be able to find out your clients' needs, desires, fears, all this kind of stuff. So I'd be asking things like, for example, what is your Q1 strategy? Client says, so we're going to focus on, optimizing our existing website traffic. And I'd say, well, why is that? Because we're having a lot of people bounce on our website. So they come to the website and they leave straight away. Oh, that's interesting. Like, where are you finding that? We're finding it's happening on the checkout page. Interesting. So we actually have software that might be able to, plug into the checkout page and find more out about that. Is that something maybe you'd be interested in, like, talking about later kind of thing? Yeah, okay, yeah. Excellent, okay. Maybe next time I'll come back with my sales team and, we can maybe pitch it to you, something like that. Maybe we can show you some more information. Okay, sounds good. That kind of thing, right? Now that was a pretty easy one because, the product exactly matched the need, but you can see what I mean. You have to ask questions all the time. You have to find out things. And the more open questions you ask about general subjects like industry trends, like also, did you hear about the latest about AI? And then much later down the line, I have an AI product, right? Ask lots of questions and you'll find out what they're missing. And you don't necessarily need to pitch it now, but at least collect the information for your sales team later. So it's finding the growth opportunities. So those were the 5 traits of indispensable account managers that I saw. I hope you liked the video. And if you want to further improve your account management skills, I have another video called 7 Ways I Made My Client Meetings More Engaging. So please do check that out. Cheers.